Hello. So today we're going to be playing Saket, and he's my childhood friend. Um, his rating will be very low, but like he's actually pretty good at chess because he plays a very, what I call a renegade style, which is just completely annoying. You'll see what I mean. It's like all theory goes out of the window. So we are playing something like a chess. We're playing something like a chess set, which in the style of tennis. So what that means is if I go, I'm trying to win 6 games basically, and I want to break on him really bad. So it's d4. He's probably going to play it. He plays d5 usually. Knight of three. Hey, why is my left click not working? Wait, where's my settings in chess.com? Okay, so this is a typical chess terrorism, I call it. It's just like as Alexander Gresham calls it, actually. He's the original inventor of the term. He plays this, he seeks some sort of Slav. There's no hole in the position yet, so let's just play e3. I've been playing a lot of Fian Keto games, so I'm almost tempted to go g3, bishop g2, but the structure, it doesn't particularly look appetizing. Let me just quickly get my settings. Highlight move, light, trolling move, speech notation, arrows. Okay, that is the arrow. Just who disables this by default? Let's just hit save and go back to play. Yeah, we're back in the game. So bishop e2. What's going on with this? Right click. Okay, I take. He probably plays there. Bishop b4, queen c2, knight e4 probably, bishop d2, knight takes d2. Actually, knight e4 is not possible because he simply loses a pawn. So here he goes here, trying to play knight e4, but now he play knight bd7, castles. Castles, I probably could have played bishop a3 and annoyed him a bit, but then he plays c5, and I really didn't want to deal with c5 because it's in these kind of queen pawn positions, it's usually said to be an equalizing break for what it's worth. If I play c4, he has the ability to play rook c8, which is annoying. So let's just play a4. The idea is to play bishop a3. Well, let me just sort out my mouse so that I can start drawing arrows. Okay, let's see. Yep. Yeah, now we got that arrow. e5 is a good move. e5 is a good move. Okay, I'm low on time. Let's start blitzing some moves. He probably plays e4. Here, I just got to go back, bite the bullet, play bishop e2, maybe. Um, okay, rook e8 is interesting. Oh, because I was going to play bishop e3, and he's going to probably play rook to play e4. So I got to do something. So let's just play c4. Rook c8 rook c8 was a better move here for him. So he plays e4, but bishop e2 was planned anyway. Rook c8, queen b3. Queen b3. Usually I miss a lot of tactics in these kind of positions. He's got a huge time advantage. He's going to play rook, rook a8. Yeah, rook a8, queen b3 was my plan. If he takes, I take with the bishop. Uh, yeah, knight b6, I just take with the bishop and hope that the knight doesn't jump in very threateningly. Now he'll take with either of the knights. He goes with that knight, which I think is a little bit suspect because that knight was doing a real good job guarding this pawn long term. Okay, now let's see. Rook here. I'm not blundering anything. Hopefully, I just don't want the knight to get here somehow. But my two bishops do a good job of protecting my position. So now I just play rook ac1 and hope for an exchange of rooks on play h3 to safeguard the. I do see a tactical shot here, which is something like, okay, if I just do this, I don't know if you saw this, but maybe bishop b5, just asking the through some uncomfortable questions here. It has to go to e6, probably the only move because this bishop is cutting the board in half. Okay, he is going for something interesting, which is attacking the king side, which I had completely ignored. Technically, I can just play f3 and not worry too much. I might be like losing positionally or something. I don't know, but like the c3 pawn's actually pretty weak. I completely missed. Knight takes e3, queen takes e3, everything takes e3 here, but like that was terrible for me. Or was it because I can play rook e1? As long as this bishop is on f3, I don't really care. I'm definitely missing something. If he plays rook takes rook, I have bishop takes rook, which kind of traps this knight, no? And now he's in a lot of trouble. So that I think he missed this because now knight e4 doesn't work because of bishop takes e4, and still you don't have mate because the bishop guards this on g2. So it also starts threatening the f7 pawn. So that's and then he cannot just take back with this knight because bishop takes queen. So now he's in trouble. Now he's in trouble. I got very lucky there. Almost baited him into knight takes e3. I think he just thought that rook takes c1, rook takes c1, that was automatic. But this is a good move, except that it's not. Uh, takes. Oh, he can't even give me a check. So yeah, rook takes knight is just winning because now rook takes, I take with the queen, and I'm completely fine. Of course, the mistake would have been to take with the bishop and blunder checkmate almost. But now this is actually threatening things. Let's see. He probably plays on, but like I don't see the point. Um, okay, he takes there, which is like a nice little bait for trying to bait me into blundering my queen. Okay, but I'm just not going to fall for such baits. Although there is some irritating aspects to this position, which is like, okay, we don't want to do that. Uh, oh, there is no check because the bishop got. No. I was actually considering bishop takes b7, but that would have been a huge blunder because of this, probably. Not probably, definitely. And now this kind of allows something, some debauchery, as I like to call it, with like maybe bishop h5, and also starts looking into bishop takes b7 and disconnecting those passed pawns. So he plays this move, which I'm not sure because of bishop c4, now hitting f7 and also restricting the knight completely. And now here, this is like a lot of pressure. So you have to obviously safeguard the pawn first. This is a terrible game, if I'm being honest, but now he's just blundered mate. No, queen takes f7, and this is just checkmate now. Mate in two. Thank you very much. Um, we can play a rematch. You'll see, he's pretty good. That was a terrible game for both of us, but okay, what are we gonna do, right? So e4 c6, knight f3 d5, takes. Okay, he's going for this. Then let's just go for the Caro-Kann advance. Bishop f, yeah, e6, short variation as they call it, named after Grandmaster Nigel Short. Here, my coach, who's from the Soviet Union, ex-coach from the Soviet Union, she taught me to play c5. I mean, like, not she didn't teach me to play c5. She just said that c5 is a move in these kind of positions, but like that's what you should look for. So I can just either play knight g7, knight b7, queen b6, starting to put some pressure on d4. That's the idea. Okay, knight d7 looks logical. But people usually like to play knight h4 in these positions. But this is similar to the. It's almost like a London system with black. Now you just take and you open h file, and then you argue that okay, maybe that provides you some counterplay here. c5 is important. You can just start breaking the center and ask questions of this pawn. But now he does that, which is always the problem with these positions. Okay, queen takes d4. That is something. Did he miss? Maybe. I have rook h4, as Kiriakian would say. Maybe. Uh, okay, this queen can actually not come anywhere. It has to go back. Let's start utilizing the fact that we have a freewheeling rook in the position. Right, and now maybe like we could play something like d4 if the queen moves. I mean, the queen has to move in this file, so I can't really play d4 yet. But what I can do is play bishop. I can really play bishop here, queen a5, and start to put some pressure. Okay, that I did not know. I can play bishop b4 now. Now the rook e4 threat becomes high. Okay, castle's queen side, which is interesting, but now queen a5 starts to threaten my knight. So I need to start looking into my own development and maybe play rook c8. This is a very sharp game. Very sharp. Let's resolve the situation, maybe. Maybe. Let's play 6, maybe. Let's stop giving that bishop the run of the world, so as to speak. I think a wise idea would be to just put the bishop on b3 and like use it as a defensive resource for these loose pawns. But Saket never does things like that. See, as I told you, but this is I think disaster because I can just take like queen a5, and I don't see the reason why I shouldn't. Or just even straight away rook check. Um, Bishop takes, pawn takes, rook check, king d2. Oh, I can't take bishop takes. I'm so sorry, so dumb. Okay, you can play knight b1, I guess. Like, okay, can we sack the exchange? Maybe. Should we go all in? Should we go all in? Is the question. I mean, I do have a hanging pawn. Knight takes e5, starts disturbing the queen, and also looks into rook takes b4, queen b5. I thought about it for a brief while, but queen d7 should be perfectly fine for me. Knight takes d7, and I am completely winning the b4 pawn and like also like causing all sorts of mayhem down the a file. I didn't even need to castle. And I would have the king in the center, which is a good endgame. This pawn structure might look very odd to you, but it's really not that odd. So I can just take with a king, but like let's not bend things unnecessarily, or should we? Because the knight just goes back to e5. What's the point of that? So now he can start with king d7, and then I get this knight out. Then rook takes b4 is on. I don't see the point of the sacrifice. King goes to e6, and then what? He thinks he has something, but king goes to e6, and then what? And rook takes. He can put some good pressure with this, but I just play rook e4 and ask him what pressure, and then like maybe f4. There's no pin right now. Your rook is hanging. Future day, if we want to play rook e1, I have rook e4 always. I have the luxury of using this tempo to take the pawn. Actually, an annoying move would have been rook f e1. So I don't know why he didn't do that. So let's just play rook takes b4. Let's just take the w. And now he's starting to lose the thread a bit. He's losing the b2 pawn too because I have rook takes a1 check. I always have this check, take king e2, take, and take the b2 pawn. I even had knight c4 maybe. Let's just take the b2 pawn. Sure, he's going to threaten to play f4. But okay, the king just simply moves. Okay, this is a good idea, but he will play f4. That's the point of this. Okay, maybe I missed bishop here. Because now f4 simply wins the... Oh, unless... Yeah, f4 simply wins the knight. But how many pawns up am I? Not many. Not many. Probably not the worst. I missed bishop c1, honestly. There is no advantage. Sack any exchange. There's no way to sack the exchange. So what we can do is just give up the knight. Yeah, f4 is just obvious. Let's just play f6. Take the L. and play knight f6 and continue to play this position. Still some mobility issues for the bishop. And now this endgame, I'm a pawn up. Have one worse endgames, let's say. Let's just get the knight active. And that was terrible chess for me. But okay, that's how life works at this level. It's just terrible chess after terrible chess. It's not really Magnus Carlsen, Vincent Keimer. So here he's giving me some 10p for some reason. Okay, if he goes there, rook g3, I have knight f4, threatening his g2 pawn. And even king f5, and I start to form some sort of fortress. He moves his king probably. But if he moves his king, he has to stay in connect with the bishop. He can't move it out because he loses the bishop. If he moves back, this is not really a threat to exchange anything. So now he is going for checks. Let's just play king f5 and shut it down. Or even take the g2 pawn maybe. I don't see why I shouldn't take the g2 pawn. If he goes any checks, I have king f5. And king d5, I think king f5 is, oh, he's going for the g7 pawn, but now, okay, this check is not going to last that much longer because now I just run behind the pawn and he cannot threaten g7 ever because of knight h5. Okay, king here, I think I'll use it as a shield. And his bishop is in a lot of trouble, let's not forget. g7, I have knight h5, that's the plan always. Things under control now. I have things under control, just need to focus. All the pawns are saved. Okay, just king takes c6 or bc6. Let's just play king c6. No need to disturb. Okay, let's just do this. It's a time scramble. There's no point being logical about a time scramble. Let's just try to, okay, that I did not want to allow. Moving the bishop with tempo. Okay, I won on time. That's 2-0. That was a difficult game. I shouldn't have allowed so many things. Let's not focus too much on the negatives and just try to play a good white game and try to play it smooth. Bishop takes, knight of e6 castles, knight of 6 e3, c4 knight c3, bishop g2 maybe. Okay, let's just play c4 knight c3. He can't take because of obvious reasons. Okay, he's trying to bait me into playing knight c3, but that would be a blunder, so let's just play this. I don't even know why I should play that. I could have just played a3 before c5 and dropped the bishop maybe. Okay, he takes here, I take here. Okay, he wants this knight. Okay, good for you. Just take and play rook c1. Queen c2 even. f5, and this cementing this knight business has never been my thing. Just shades of the previous game. Okay, if you want to do that, you are losing a pawn, my friend, and maybe the game. Just b7 pawn. Okay, you're hit with the knight, so you can't really say that. Okay, you can just play rook b8 and get it back. That's 2 pawns. Thank you very much. Queen takes, and knight is still hit. And bishop c3, and we should have a very comfortable game. Just rook b8. Yeah, the knight can't really do much. It's just 2 pawns for nothing. That was a big blunder, taking with this pawn instead of this pawn. Okay, we just play bishop c3. Okay, he has to take because he doesn't want to deal with that. Coordination of my pieces. Okay, he's just trying to play something. We just like advance our queenside pawns and roll it down the board and win the game. So that's simple. That's a very smooth game. But that was honestly a one-move blunder. He was trying to create some ridiculous chances. But okay, this pawn's going to be too powerful in the end. Okay, there's no chance here. You're going down nowhere. And you're standing down nothing. This is a c7 pawn. That is the game. Okay, then how do you plan to? Okay, king e2. You have rook b8 check. I think this is just a very, very poorly played endgame from black. Rook f3. I just queen. Like you just lose on the spot. It just resigns. That's all there is to it. If he moves the king, I queen with check actually because this rook is on the seventh. Normally king g7 would have been like if there wasn't a check. This is just resignable. Uh, let's just play 3-0. Okay, let's play another Caracan and not win on time this time. Let's just play e5, bishop f5, e6, and try to play correct chess. Bishop f4. I'm just going to play how I play normally. Knight g7, knight e7. And this time my knight can recapture on f5 if he plays knight h4. Yeah, the difference is that I learned from my previous game. Let's just play queen b6. Or just even h6, just provoking him to take. Let's just do that. Now the knight is too powerful. And you see this pawn is like super weak. Okay, that's how he deals with that. But doesn't that just blunder this pawn? And that's just like the point of my play. I did not expect that move because it just seemed off from the start. And now we know why intuitively it didn't make sense to do that. Um, Now knight takes d4, queen b6, a bishop e3, so a c5, I don't know. So I don't want to allow any counter chances like the last game. I'm just going to play smooth chess, not worry too much. Put the knight on c5 maybe, and just hit the bishop where it hurts. Just Let's just go. Let's just do what Saket does to me. Just play with knights. And if he moves, I just put the knight on f5 and just argue. I have a good position. Okay, take that. Then I have a blockading knight on f5, which completely thwarts your existence. And I just play bishop e7 and castle. There's absolutely nothing to do for either side in this position. It's just a clean pawn, no compensation. Yeah, he's trying to play knight c5, but that's very cute. But just castle. Ignore these things. Okay, now he's just blundered a piece. Yeah, oh, not really, because he can play queen e3, I guess, but like now queen b6 forces the exchange of the queens. Um, kind of traps the knight here. Or b4, I don't know, queen b6. I think he can play knight d7, but I will take and then play rook a d8, and then your knight is sadly trapped. This is just a nice little knight trap, and now you can resign. Thank you very much for playing. Um, you can try some scat tactics with putting the knight on f6 and forcing me to take with the pawn. Um, and then you take with the pawn and argue. And argue that you have some counterplay, but I will just play bishop back, king h7. Instead, he just gives up the knight. Maybe knight f6 was a good try, no? And now you just take with the rook, and this is just a technically, I mean, it's a piece and a pawn, and like this pawn's a structure. So maybe just, okay, that's a rook. Thank you. Game, set, and match. That's actually it's just game. It's 4 games to love. Let's see. D4. Should we play E4 one game maybe? But if I win this and win the next game, the set is over. It's a bagel. On the day, D4, D5, knight f3, knight c6, G3, bishop G2 castles, and the game goes on. No? Bishop G2. I don't understand the point of giving up this bishop. You did not get a good position in the last game. You just blundered the pawn on b7. c7, and then you lost the game. Straightforward fashion. So why would you do this again? So queen a4. Now this is like all sorts of pins on the light squares. Without your light squared bishop to play bishop d7, this is such a nasty position. Already, already looking like it's a losing position. Okay, you play that. I can even play maybe something like e4 and d5. This is very powerful for white for sure. Okay, you can do that, but now you lose a. I don't want to lose the d4 pawn, so he's going to try to take on d4, which is maybe something that I should have seen. Maybe knight b6 I underestimated, but but queen d1, knight takes queen d1, knight takes d4. Maybe this is the game. I lose my perfect streak. Okay, you just take here, and the game goes on. Okay, you just play bishop g2 and hope that, oh, fucking hell. Bishop d1 was the only move, but let's hope that we can trap the knight. Let's play knight a3. Now the knight escapes. That's the problem. The knight escapes. He takes there, and the knight just goes to c2. That's the problem. I was having too perfect a day, and then this had to happen. Yeah, this is just terrible, but I'm going to keep playing because I'm a spiteful individual. He has to convert this, of course. If he doesn't convert this, he will cry for the rest of time. So I do probably. Oh, this is so bad. Like I even lost my bishop. But let's play some tricks. Oh, the trick worked. Interesting. Now we're back in the game. Ooh la la, that was a nasty trick. Still winning for black, if I may say so myself. But he insists on blundering the winning advantage away. These pawns are too much, if I'm not wrong. Knight f3, king here. Let's see if we got a fighter's chance here. I think I see a path for equality, but he insists on blundering. I shouldn't just lose more pawns, that's all there is to it. I can try. He can draw if he wants to draw. But oh my god, I can't believe he's going for the draw. Okay, that's a much, much better try. This is still so hopeless for me. But Black's play has not been the greatest. It's generating some counter chances. Just push your pawns on the queen side, mate. That's all there is to it. This knight is now very annoying. Yeah, I need to start giving checks and sack the exchange at the right time. It's only up one pawn, so it's not completely hopeless. I mean, now you can just start doing this now. He will try to go for my A pawn at some point. So what I do is I go for his B pawn. Just like king e3. It's a complex endgame. Yeah, this is something expected. And he will give a check here and pick up that pawn for free. But it's not all for nothing. It's not all for nothing. You will see what I mean. Is that I have some checks. And some tricks. For winning the game, I need to start displacing and sacking the exchange at the right minute. But this is not that minute. That's the problem. I think I've lost this game quite comprehensively, although you can never say never. Let's just play on. Yeah, this is hopeless. Oh man, that was a hopeless game. Terrible, terrible. Chess. What did I do? Oh, I'm not playing again. Let me challenge him again. There we go. It's 4-1. We're not going to go for testy guns anymore. We're going to blow the board off with our Sicilian. D4. That was just nice. C6. No more automatic moves like the last game. Terrible chess sometimes. Knight f6 is just what an angel would play in this position. Eyes closed. Knight c3. Bishop b4. And we're already in a good position. He has to play some retreating move or maybe f3. Knight f3 just loses a pawn now to knight takes e4. Bishop d2 is forced. This reminds me of the Nimzo Indian I play, but with d4, c4, and similar structures with a knight coming in on e4. And those positions, white usually has a. You always take the bishop in these positions for some reason. Okay, now you can just castle, or even play queen a5. But let's just castle because we've been burned before. a3. In these Nimzo Indian games, you just take for some reason. The reason being that city just went off for no reason. And the reason being that you can play queen a5 and attack the pawn. Actually, Nimzo Indian just played d6, nbd7, knight e4, and then this knight goes to f6, and bishop. I usually put my bishop on b7. It's called the three knights Duchamp variation, which I'm very fond of. But now he's just giving one more pawn for the white cause. And I'm starting to wonder what his plan is. Okay, if there is a plan. You should always have a plan, even if it's a bad one, as Magnus would say. Knight d4, knight e5, all candidates. Knight e5, rook e1, I just take on d3, so let's just put the knight on e5. He can't really trap the queen. The queen has got so many squares to get back to. And there is absolutely no piece. Maybe the knight can go here. Okay, then if you just do that, I just step back with the queen to e5, and maybe I'll lose it to bishop takes h7 check, and that looked like an absolute fool. So the right move in that case would be queen a5, just keeping an eye on the knight from the a5 square. And after that, when he moves his bishop. But then again, there's queen c5, I think also merits some discussion, because if he moves his bishop, then like you want to put pressure on the c2 pawn. Long term, knight b1 is such a sad move. Okay, queen h5, you don't have a checkmate, so I don't know what you're going for. I mean, okay, you do that, and then you say, okay, you have some sort of queen h5, knight g5, queen h5 tactics. But if I just need to discourage you from, I think this might be more powerful than I imagined. Bishop takes h7, queen my pieces are very underdeveloped, so you never know. Queen c4, knight g5, and I'm worried for my seventh square. I need to defend at 7 long term, so let's say this, and queen e4 should defend at 7, so I should be free from checkmate. See, knight g5, king h, queen h. Yeah, I have this move. Okay, king at 7, queen e5. Interesting. I thought he'd go for checkmate with knight g5, yes. But now he's allowed me to potentially uncoil out of this, and he's got his still on a pawn up, so this is a terrible move for me. I'm just panicking because of all the knight g5 lines I see. But here knight g5 you have f6, so you're totally lost. But now this is still lacks the coordination right now. Although, yeah, I bought that upon myself. Bought that upon myself. Or did I? I wanted to get my bishop out. This is terrible chess. Overall, I underestimated the power of the bishop takes h7 sacrifice. And now the problem is when he puts his queen on h4 or something. Okay, queen e3, I don't know. d5 now. Now, I forced the exchange of queens and kept my pawn structure. So, it's kind of okay for me. This is just a stone cold blunder. Sometimes you think you're doing well, so you think like, okay, let me keep making these moves, which are kind of dubious sometimes. That's just the game, though. That was a pity because that sacrifice was really good. Now we just go into autopilot and hopefully convert the game. Okay, just rook ac8. Okay, now so many ways to win, but the easiest is bishop b5 and followed by b6. The idea is that when you move the rook there, I always have the cover c6 square covered by the bishop. Rook d6 is a move, but what can you really do in this position? Like it's just like losing everything. Just need to not let the move c6 happen. Okay, this bishop is just going to be safe on c6. Pawn's going to be safe. Everyone's going to be safe. Everyone's going to hold hands and be happy now. There is absolutely no way of defending your pawn here. I'm not going to give up b7 for no reason. I can even start looking at checkmate ideas. Okay, now let's just take c5. Okay, let's just not allow anything for this guy today. Already allowed an unnecessary sacrifice, and this he's just biting on granite. As they like to call it in chess, I could have just taken a4, just overwhelming winning position, but that blunder was the turning point. Now e3, and you start running into losing your rook territory. But maybe I kind of did not do the best work of converting this position. Yeah, let's just take on a4 now. Okay, I lose a pawn, I lose a pawn. There's nothing much I can do, but I have a extra bishop, so all is good. At the end of the day, he can play moves like h6 or something, just needlessly make this into a fight. But okay, a5, a4 should still be winning. We can stop the cavalier advance of this king soon with just rook a8. He's going for this pawn, but like here, bishop f5 parks me firmly in the territory. Give one check, but like, okay, the king goes here. I'm just playing fast because I want to avoid the time scramble. It's a lot of time, but like let's just take here. Just start looking at this pawn. Okay, bishop f5. Yeah, there's nothing to do. It's Yeah, I'm so upset about the game I lost, but let's start with e4 this time. Okay, the center counter defense nonsense doesn't work for me. Okay, this position is just so irritating. Just play knight f3, you play bishop g4, and try to act smart about it, but now you have bishop b5, just baiting you into playing these weird positions, and I'm not going to be baited this time. Okay, you want my bishop, take my bishop. Well, all I care about is castling. Um, because in these positions, how much use is a bishop anyway? And the problem is, you think you're pinning me, but the point is that I have bishop f4, knight bd2, and a good developing life ahead of me. And just move the queen. I'm completely unpinned and ready to proceed with life. Queen d2. So here you just play something like move the knight somewhere. Maybe start thinking about. Okay, it's a tricky position. Initially, it looks like it, but just play knight h2. Well, there's nothing much to say. The c3. Just don't blunder. Just do this. Drive the bishop away. In fact, this bishop looks like it's in trapping territory, except it has bishop a5, because the queen actually saves it. I hope he sees that. Okay, he doesn't. Insists on giving full pieces. Ooh, that was painful, unnecessary. However, nothing has changed. Let's just take on c5. And now everything's changed. Oh my god, sometimes I'm so bad at chess. I don't know why I'm suffering so much with white pieces. It's just ridiculous, makes no sense. Let's just play knight f3 and hopefully create some sort of pass pawn situation. But I'm not too hopeful about the set situation. Although I am getting a little bit hopeful now. Just a little bit. Okay. Let's see where this goes. I do have the knight. Can jump in with tempo. Very few people come back from blundering a queen. We want to get our knight to b6 with tempo. That's the idea. The question is, can we get the knight to b6? If the knight has to end up in b6, it has to come here. So let's just double up. And not only that, just pin that pawn for... Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, for fuck's sake. That was so bad. Let's just engage this. Oh my god. He usually plays knight f3, so I just like... I'm tilting a bit, but that's okay. Knight f6 and 6-2 is just such a terrible score because I lose rating points. But it is what it is. Let's just try to complete the set. Bishop d7. Nothing to see here. You can wreck my pawn structure if you want, technically. But that assumes that I'm castling kingside. And how dare you make such an assumption? Okay. c6. I can't take on d6 yet. Still can't take on d6, in case you were thinking. a6, asking questions where the knight is going. Knight says it's going nowhere. Now we're going to triple O and play for opposite sides castling. I shouldn't have allowed knight d5, which is so stupid of me. Okay, the c4. Queen d7. And now I've allowed another fork. I don't know why I do this to myself. I absolutely despise myself sometimes, tilting to the max. And he's, for some reason, despite a good center counter defense, decided to play the Roy Lopez or equivalent, but these positions weren't so scary for me because they're very conventional. I do well with conventional positions, and now he's just given up castling rights. Let's play an endgame. That's where this guy's pretty, I would say he's already blundered an f7 pawn. So that should bode well for us. Okay, bishop back to e4, knight g5, 8-6, knight e6, 3-6. Let's just be adventurous now. We can exchange. We can just castle now. I think we'll just castle. This is some trouble for him. Because now I have rook check, and okay, if you block with a bishop, now I have knight e6, which comes with a tempo, and it removes your rook. And isn't that the game? Because isn't that after devastation? This is game over. Check still. Still check. Still check. Now there is d7, and that's just game over. Well, that might look tempting. I think it's important to play bishop d7 so as to make sure that we win the piece. Yeah. We do have some development issues, and we need to take with check. So wherever he goes, we are going to take with check. And that's important because I want to play knight c3, and if he plays bishop takes e5, I want to, or should I just play bishop takes g5, maybe? Because that will then win the, this is game over, right? Rook takes e7 check. If he does that, bishop takes g5, and the house is falling in. Bishop takes e5 as rook takes e7. How is this not checkmate? I will not know. But okay, we have a windmill situation going. Rook f7. How am I not figuring this out? This is so embarrassing. Okay, let's just at least take some pawns before we. This is definitely mate. I just can feel it. I think I found the mate. Did I? Not yet. It's a nice windmill situation. I win the rook. Oh my god, rook takes b7. Back, king e8, rook e7, king back, rook takes a7. Yeah, it's over. I win the entire board. That's the game and set. Yeah, rook e7. Okay, 7. Beautiful. That was a nice little make to finish, and that should be the game. Thanks for watching. Sorry for some terrible games. That was absolutely awful. 6-3, but